Yeah, dog. What's up? What's the deal? Turn this light down a little bit. So then lit me up. It is NFL time, man. I ain't wasn't feeling too good. Pat, good morning. Lakers and Pacers put on a good game, but AD was a monster last night, rightfully so, man. I didn't really do nothing for that game last night, man. Then I ended up tossing in a three pick, but it was too late to share. That hit, but I didn't really do nothing to that game because I knew it was kind of fishy. I knew I was probably going to get an underfield, it had an underfield to it, but it is what it is. Yeah, man, I'm ready to go to sleep, man. I'm ready to go to sleep. All right, so man, one time. Good game though. Good game though. Good tournament. They gave LeBron the MVP. That was crazy. Shit. Let me get this shared up real quick. Golly. What a place. Yeah, it was a good idea. Spiced it up just like it revitalized. They revitalized at least the first quarter, first half of the season, which I think that's awesome. Man, come on now. Stop yawning, man. Come on now. You got to wake up. Come on. Woo. I've been up, man. I ain't been asleep, man. That's what it is. Pat. Pat said he like McCaffrey fantasy. All right, all right, all right. Let me get this shared up. I mean, let me get up a screen here. What's Twitter? Let's refresh this. NFL. Clyde Hilaire would split will start split carries with Jerry McKinnon. I like Jerry McKinnon today, man. Receiving yards, whatever. Good Lee Flacco. All right. Okay. Okay. Mm. Mm. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one, man. That's definitely gonna be a good one. Let's see. This was gonna be a good one. Should be the Rams and Baltimore, uh, New Orleans and Carolina, Indiana's Colts and Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, sir. I like that game. I like that game. It's DFS, whatever, man. I gotta put my DFS lineup together. Um, Jacksonville Jaguars, Cleveland Browns, mm, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, my Detroit. My Chicago Bears taking on Detroit Lions. Come on now, snap out of it, man. Woo! I ain't been asleep, man. Um, Houston Texans at New York Jets. Uh, Seattle and San Francisco. Hopefully Seattle can put up some points here. Minnesota and the Raiders. Yeah, this one's gonna be one right here. Hopefully. Um, Denver and the Chargers. Okay, a classic game between these two teams. Oh, how about them Chargers, man? Super. Excuse me, super disappointing, man. Buffalo, Kansas City. Oh, yes, sir. Philly, Dallas. Tyreek Hill probably going to walk all over these guys here. Tennessee and Miami. Everything's in play for these Dolphins in that one. Green Bay and the Giants, like, what's up with that? 37 over under right there. Ugly. Watson down on that one. I did the Chargers at Vegas turn around and play on Thursday, huh? Okay. Interesting. All right, so I don't want to waste a lot of people's time and stuff like that. I'm yawning every 5 minutes. I've been up since yesterday, 6 o'clock yesterday. Work. I had to go to work, but had to fight myself, whatever I could do to stay up. Okay. PrizePicks here. Let me refresh PrizePicks. Let's get us some plays together, man. Right off the back, I know Patrick said he likes Christian McCaffrey fantasy points here. And lo and behold, big shout out to Patrick, man. Patrick sent me $100 super chat, man. That was awesome, man. Shout out to Patrick, man. Big claps. Big ups to Patrick, man. Can't thank you guys enough. Can't thank you enough, Pat, man. Again, man, that was awesome, man. All right, so I can't it's a lot of plays. I probably should just go through them. It's a lot of plays, man. I haven't even looked at my touchdown scores, but that's another thing I got to look at my touchdown scores. But I'm definitely going to keep it simple. However, Russian props here. I can see instances where Lamar Jackson get there. He's at 47.5 right now. Let me see. He's hit this number. Right now he's averaging he's hit this number pretty frequently. He's averaging what? I want to say that's about what he's averaging right there. But he's hit this number pretty frequently. I can't never talk you off the Russian prop for Lamar Jackson there. And in the touchdown for Gus Edwards and Kyron Williams. I was just I'm really torn between the receiving props here and who and which one I would like to take here. And I would probably look at Puka Nacua, his receiving props in at 56.5 and Cooper sitting at 47.5. That's definitely how these guys move the ball. And they definitely play. What's this? I didn't even look at the receptions. Let's take a look at the receptions here. 3.5 for likely, 4.5 from Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. I could definitely see on PrizePicks. It'd probably be some fives. I really like to bet receptions, so I would probably end up seeing some fives over here. Let's see. I'm gonna look at Puka, man. So Puka Nacua, his reception sitting at 5. That's a play that I think I would like to get to. So I lean towards the over there. No, I know Cooper Kupp has been running his ass to the locker room right along with Puka Nacua, but I couldn't talk off neither one of these. I'll put those play over here to the side there, right? So I'll definitely look at the reception prop there for Puka Nacua. Rushing yards for Lamar Jackson is in play too. And Kyron Williams and stuff like that, I couldn't talk you off none of these. Him and Gus Edwards, along with Lamar Jackson, definitely touchdown candidates. And Isaiah Likely, they coming off a bye. More than enough time to get things acclimated as far as plays and stuff like that. I couldn't talk you off of his numbers fitting right into that role of right into what's the name's role? What's the tight end name? Mark Andrews' role. So definitely keep an eye out on him. All right. Patrick says thanks. Rushing touchdowns prop for a parlay I made was Josh Allen, David Montgomery, McCaffrey 2 or more touchdowns, CeeDee Lamb. Receiving touchdowns. Nice, man. Today should up. We deserve a chalky day. Hopefully, this is one of those chalky days, man. Because a lot of these plays I can't talk you off of. My top touchdown candidates here is probably going to be Williams and Edwards. Okay, that's going to be my top touchdown candidates. It just is what it is. Okay. Carolina Panthers and New Orleans Saints here. We got an over under 39 in this spot here. And at the end of the day, I really love Kamara today. So you could look at Kamara's numbers either way you want to cut it. I don't know what's up with this Carolina defense or things of that nature, but you could definitely look at Kamara either way you want to cut it. 37.5 receiving yards. And then his rushing prop is sitting at 63.5. So it's all-purpose yards could be in play too at 100. Okay. Let me see. Let me pull up outlier here. Let's go to NFL. Let's go to these Saints. In the meantime, what is my TD parlay is Montgomery, Kamara, Evans, and Chase. Woo! Plus 1,800. Put 10. You could put $10 on there and get $180. You put $5 on there and get what? $90. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You put $2.50 on there if you want to get $45. You can put $1 on there and get $18, man. So ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no bankroll shaming, nothing over here, man. You can do whatever you want, man. Shout out to Jim Williams dropping in that play there. Can't thank you enough for that. Kamara. All right. Pat said those some really good props, bro. Chuba Hubbard didn't play too. It's some stuff here. But I'm definitely looking at Alvin Kamara here. If his name would even pop up, like, damn, why? Okay, they go, and that's the prop that I was looking at too. And I think you could have caught this earlier in the flick, earlier at I think at 90 at 100. It's at 103.5 right now. All-purpose yards, whatever you want to call it. But he's 6 of 10 to this number in his last 10 games. I don't want to look at the head, but last time these two teams played, he did have 110 yards there. All right, if you want to look at his, he might score, man. I don't really take him for touchdowns, but his individual reception yards, he's 1 for 4. No, this is head-to-head. Last 10 games, his individual rushing yards, he's 5 for 10 to this number. And then his last 5 games, he's 4 or 5 to this number here, okay? Individual receptions, it's line right here sitting at 5.5. Last 5 games, he's 2 or 3 to 2 or 5 to this number. And rushing yards, sitting at 63.5. I would, like I said, it's really possible he can get there, but I probably would look at the rushing and receiving yards, man, to give me a better chance of getting there. So I lean towards the over rushing and receiving yards for him. Once you add it, then like I said, you can add it to your bet slip right here from the menu here. Let me see something, man. Let me see one thing. What's that? Carolina and New Orleans. Carr was upgraded to available Sunday and doesn't have an injury destination for Sunday's game against the Panthers. You need to sit down somewhere probably. I guess. But we should see a heavy dose of. I would say we should see a heavy dose of Kamara today, man. Olave is playing. Olave illness has yet to make a full recovery from the flu, but is expected to play in Sunday's game against Carolina. A flu game incoming for Chris Olave. He's had 8 targets or better in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight games. That's Chris Olave. Had 8 targets or better in 6 straight games. Where is Shaheed? Okay, so Shaheed was questionable. He's unlikely to play. So definitely. And then my boy, so we know Taysom Hill is more than like he's out. Juwan Johnson is expected to play. So Juwan Johnson is expected to play. Okay. And if you want to look at Alvin Kamara's catches, targets, I think that's in play as well. Okay. So right now, I mean Olave. Where are Olave's numbers? 71.5. Juwan Johnson, 25.5. That's interesting. That's interesting. Juwan Johnson, that's interesting there. 2.5 reception at minus 138. Juwan Johnson is definitely interesting. He had 3 targets on 0 catches. Last week, 7 targets the week before. It's averaging about 4 targets a game. Interesting play there. 2.5 receptions for Juwan Johnson. That's an interesting play. All right, all-purpose yards here for Alvin Kamara is a play that I really like there. All right. 105.5 on the books, 104.5 on PrizePicks. Okay. I think it was 104.5 on PrizePicks. Let's see. Well, you can look at his fantasy score as well. Okay. So you can look at his fantasy score as well. Let me see. Kamara. Touchdown, 38.5 receiving yards. I couldn't talk you off of that. The rushing yards couldn't talk you off of that. Fantasy score sitting at 18. 105.5 rushing reception yards. So 5 receptions, sitting at 5 receptions. It is what it is. Okay. Not probably going to be messing around with the Panthers side of things, even though there could be some. I just didn't really cap that game like that on the Panthers side. Thielen burned me last week. Like, oh man, he ain't been looking too good lately. Indianapolis Colts at Cincinnati Bengals. This game here, I like it, man. Gardner Minshew, I really like Gardner Minshew, man. Straight up, I like him. Incentives, man. Incentives are major key. Let me see something here. See if I can find it. NFL. Incentives, man. Let's see what's this right here. Is this updated? Because we got some incentives going on here. So make sure you guys check it out. Because I'm not gonna. Wait a minute. Is that Gardner Minshew signed a 1 year? 30% of offensive snaps for Gardner Minshew at 500,000. That's not really something that I'm really looking at. All right, so Jamar Chase incentives, man, are in play. So we're gonna look at him for early and often. All right, Jamar Chase. This game, I like this game. I like the makeup of this game, though. So NFL incentives, man, you gotta look into it, man, and try to figure it out. I think Jamar Chase needs like 25 or 30 catches, or whatever the case may be, to reach some incentives, which shouldn't be hard. All right. And speaking of catches, we'll go right to the receiving core, okay, of this game here. Of course, who top receivers here probably going to be Pittman and Jamar Chase for sure. I was looking at Grant It's a possibility. You could be looking at Granson in this spot if you want to be sneaky. But Jamar Chase, I had already took his rushing yard. I mean his receiving yards. I got it a little bit cheaper than the 68.5, but either way I go, I still like the over here. Give me the over of 68.5 receiving yards for Jamar Chase. We can go right back to the well there. And then because he's averaging 88 yards a game. Last week he had 12 targets, 11 catches on 12 targets versus Jacksonville. Right now, this passing defense for the Colts right around the middle of the pack here. But I still think he can get there. And then on the flip side, man, I couldn't talk you off Pittman's numbers, man. Those will be the only two guys I'll be looking at here. On the receiving side, here's a guy that's getting, he's had double-digit targets in 4 of his last 5 games, 16 targets, 13, 12, 8, 13, 8 catches or more in that time span. I really like that there. You know what I'm saying? And this could be a sneaky game stack spot for, if you're playing fantasy or anything of that nature, this should be a sneaky game stack spot. Because when you look at the Russian, at the Russian game here, Zach Moss, he's one of those guys that's definitely in play today. So he's a touchdown candidate, if you ask me. He might get split up. You never know if let me see, what's the kid's name? You never know if he get an updated an uptick in who is that? Sermon? But Zach Moss should be the guy for me. He was having a really, really, really. When they gave Jonathan Taylor that contract, his ass went ballistic that game. But you probably can see a lot of Zach Moss here early and often. All right, and then Joe Mixon. The volume should be there for him. He had 19 carries last week for 68 yards. The matchup here is pretty much okay here. So I couldn't talk you off Mixon's number at 60 and a half for his rushing yards. He's averaging 57 rushing yards in the game, but I really like this matchup for him as well. And then he's been in the receiving game. Mixon has been getting busy as of late. Last game he had 6 receptions on 7 targets with what's the quarterback name? I think it's Browning. So if he's checking down a lot, then you can look at him for his reception prop there, which would be 21 and a half. Okay. So if he's checking down a lot, then you could take instantly take a look at that. His receptions are sitting at gotta be 2.5, 3.5 for Mixon, 3.5 right now. Interesting. He has 7 targets. He had 6 catches on 7 targets last week. Okay. So there you have that. I lean towards the over rushing yards for Mixon and the receiving yards for Chase and Michael Pittman Jr. I probably would just go with Chase, though, to tell you the truth. Over the 1, I probably would over the 2, I'd probably take Chase. And the 2 running backs, the receiving props, rushing props. I think I like Mixon a little bit more than Zach Moss, but both of them, they're in play. Both of them, they're in play. The Jaguars and Cleveland, Cleveland's defense at home is pretty good, man. And I don't know, man. Trevor Lawrence is going to be playing today, I want to say, right? Yeah. And this team is dealing with, man, Kirk is on the IR, man. Shout out. It's bad for people who had Kirk last week. Cooper, he said he's questionable. I'm quite sure he was cleared. He was cleared. So he was cleared for concussion protocol. And so Calvin Ridley, Jones, and Washington, man. Washington could be the X factor here, man. Last week he had 6 receptions on 6 targets. He had 6 receptions on 6 targets and a touchdown, man. Washington came out of nowhere, and he's a guy that you can look out for here. Okay, I want to see where his numbers are at if he's on the books here. Washington. Parker Washington, right here, man. He stepped in last game and went 6 for 6, man. Six catches on 6 targets. Definitely could be a sneaky play there. So keep an eye out on him. Evan Ingram, yes, please. I like it. I like Evan Ingram here. You can take his points. I'm talking about his points. His receiving yards or receptions. What is his receptions? 5.5 for his receptions. Still got interest in that 5.5, truthfully. So he's hit this number twice in his last 5 games. But the targets have been there too. Last game I took his targets. His targets has been 9, 8, 6, 7, 10, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8. So he's had 7 targets or more in every game except for 1. All right. So we could probably look at his targets. Evan Ingram. Receiving yards sitting at 44.5. His reception sitting at 4.5. I don't see his targets here. I probably wouldn't put his targets up there either. But he's definitely in play. And the 4.5 receptions are in play as well. So he's hit that 4.5 reception 3 of his last 5. So, pick your poison. No Kurt. Should see an uptick right there. Give me the over 4.5 of give me the over 4.5 or the 45. I think the 45 would probably be pretty good there. I was reading he did have a low A dot with his targets. His A dot is pretty low. So that gives him a low yardage gainage. He gains a little bit, something like a lower yardage. You know what I'm saying? So his A dot is pretty low. So I can see you fading that. But if you want to go to his receiving prop, I would take it on PrizePicks opposed to the books. It's 5.5 on the books, 4.5 on PrizePicks. His reception prop, right? So you get, that's major. That's a major big difference. One catch is very big, okay? And there we have that. Let me see something here. Let me go back to Twitter and let me refresh. Let me refresh. Okay. All right. Let's keep it moving, shall we? Let's keep it moving. Tampa Bay and Atlanta, whatever, man. I like Evans here, just like y'all do, man. So Evans, the score is a good. It's okay for me. I like that. All right. Detroit Lions here and Chicago Bears. 43.5 over under in this spot here. You know what? Let me see. Kevin Rolfe here on Twitter, meteorologist. Just, if you want to. So what does he say? I have the fortunate time of hopping on a plane with broken Wi-Fi, whatever. Plenty rain here. Let's take a look here of the weather here. I don't know how much you guys take into consideration with weather, but I do some draft buys here and there. So Chicago, dry, 10 to 15 miles an hour, sustained winds, gusts of 15, 20. That wind might impact a few deeper plays, but for the most part, it won't be an issue. Jacksonville, Cleveland can't rule out a shower here. But I don't expect it. Winds around 10 miles an hour, gusts of 15. Indy and Cincy, dry, sustained winds around 10 miles an hour. Houston and New York Jets, wet, off and on downpours, and even when it's not a downpour, there's still likely some rain. There's also thunderstorm potential, so a delay is possible. Winds sustained around 10 to 15 miles, with gusts could reach over 30 miles in summary. Wet and windy and ugly, and a bump down to the offense. LA Rams at Baltimore. Winds here look less ominous than New York Jets game, but it's still an ugly game. Rain essentially all game, and most of that is heavy rain. I expect sloppy conditions and run-heavy approach, okay? So you could look at Gus. You could look at Kyrell, and you can scratch off the passing game if you want, if you don't just want to, Tennessee rains and Green Bay win. That's not a factor there. So that you can scratch off some of those plays if you want. If not, be my guess. It is what it is. All right. So Detroit Lions and Chicago Bears here. I'd be looking at the plays I was looking at here was going to be the rushing yards for y'all know. That's receiving. Get out of there. Justin Fields rushing yards. Division game. Tough, division game here. I think the Cubs are the Bears are I think they're 4-12 or some shit. 4-8, I mean. I want to say 4-7 or something like that. And I think Detroit is like 9-3. So the rushing yards, I have no choice but to like that. And believe it or not, I like an interception here, man. I like an interception. Jared Goff. Do we have Jared Goff interceptions over here? No, I probably wouldn't put it up there either. Let's see. Chicago Bears. Those logo, my eyes are terrible, man. Like, I know it's right in front of my face, man. Straight up. Today. Bam, right there. Right in front of my face. Jared Goff. Interception. Passing attempts, passing TDs. INTs. Oh. He's 5-10 to this number. Last time he faced the Bears, he threw 3 interceptions, so that's something there. Wherever you can get an interception, it's sitting at a half. 1 interception there. Yep. He's 2-5 to this number. 5-10 to this number, right? So I think that's a possibility that he can throw an interception. Bears defense has been tight ever since we made the acquisition of damn, I forgot his name. I ain't finna keep thinking about it, but Bears defense have been kind of tight there, right? Whatever else you guys like, be my guest. Of course, David Montgomery is in play for a touchdown. Also, on the Bears side, you can look at Moore for a touchdown. So it's going to be interesting there. It's going to be interesting. I probably won't go to the receiving props, but DJ Moore, he gets enough volume to get there. All right, 72.5. He'll be, targeted early and often there. Couldn't talk you off either, on any of the receiving core here, but I won't be going. I'll definitely be looking at the rushing yards for Justin Fields there. All right. That's what I'm looking at there. The Houston game, like, I don't have too much for this Houston game. New York Jets and Houston. What's the kid's name? Tank. He's hurt. Just he's got the makings of 32 and a half. I just don't want to be wrestling with that. I don't want to wrestle with that. You guys got something? Let me know. That Jets defense, I'm gonna give them their little credit here. I don't have to mess with that game. Seattle Seahawks, shout out to everybody. Patrick was all over the McCaffrey fantasy score in this one here, so I couldn't talk you off his all-purpose yards. Whatever the case may be, you'll probably get his let's see, McCaffrey rushing and receiving 117 and a half. His rushing and receiving 117 and a half. I can't talk you off of it, man. Straight up. I like it. We know who he is and what he does. Damn, look at his first half touchdowns, man. Wow. Last 10 games. Look at his first half touchdowns. He's 9 for 10 to that number. Jesus Christ. Wow. Russell reception yards. On the books is at 117 and a half. Right here, wherever you can get this at 114 and a half. And I can see what book that is, but he's 6 of 10 to this number. Last 5 games, he's been hot to this number. Last 5 games, he's 4 or 5 to that number. And every game he's played versus this team, he's went over that number there. So rushing reception yards, if you want to get there, be my guest, okay? Or the fantasy score definitely can translate over to a fantasy score. So shout out to Patrick for that one. That's a good play there. I'm not looking for too much volume today, but that's one of the plays that's on my radar. And right along with the touchdowns, we probably won't get nothing like that on PrizePicks. We might. But so definitely in play there. Definitely. It's going to be San Francisco 49ers or nothing for me. Last time I checked, it was a 13 and a half or 14-point spread there. I don't know how I feel about that, but they are a good team. Okay, we got 2 wide receivers in this game here that are really, really good, okay? We got 2 of the best, man. 2 of the best wide receivers in the game. Would you load up? Thank you. So Justin Jefferson is live in a well this weekend, okay? Today. Then you got Devontae Adams. Both of these guys, it's hard, man. It's hard for me to decipher when Adams going to do what with these bum-ass quarterbacks he's been dealing with, man. I feel bad for him. I definitely do. Devontae Adams lately, what's this number at? 71 and a half. He's hit this number in 3 straight games. Shout out to that. Versus KZ, 5 receptions on 7 targets. Miami, 7 targets. 7 receptions on 13 targets. And the Jets, 6 receptions on 13 targets. What is this reception prop? Let's take a look. 5.5. I couldn't talk you off of that. Justin Jefferson sitting at 5.5. I like them both. I know I like Adams. If Justin Jefferson is ready to go, I'm gonna like it, man. He hasn't played with one of these quarterbacks though. Who's that? Dobbs. He hasn't played with him, but let me see. Mm, nope. Uh, Adams. And you could get this his receiving props on PrizePicks for a point below FanDuel in the books. 70.5. I see 71s on the books. Solid 6 receptions here. That's where his reception's sitting at. And they don't have his targets up here. All right. They don't have his targets up here. That was an interesting play. Um, I can't talk you off the Justin Jefferson lick though, man. 16 fantasy scores, 6.5 receptions, 76.5 yards, nine targets. They got all his props up. Damn, that make me scared to play him, man. Uh, so we'll see. We will see. We will definitely see. We will definitely see. Josh Jacobs is another guy that I'm looking at, was looking at. The volume should be here for him. Like what the coach has been doing with him. What's his name? The coach name is Pierce, right? Yeah, I think his name is Pierce. I like what the coach has been doing with him. I like the volume for Josh Jacobs lately, man. 20 attempts in 3 of his last 4 games. 20 attempts for 110 yards, 14 attempts for 39 yards, 27 attempts for 116 yards, 26 attempts for 98 yards, man. The receptions, his targets, 6, and then 1, 2, 2, 0, 4, 4, 5. So his 3 of his last 4 games he hadn't had. Well, he had 6 targets. He had 1, 2, 0. That's kind of concerning, but the we know that the attempts will be there for him. All right, and this Minnesota defense been okay. In the Russian and in Russian defense been okay. So if you want to tip your expectations, be my guest. But as far as these receivers, though, I like both these receivers. They are both in play here, especially with the amount of volume that they're gonna get. Okay. Yep, especially with the amount of volume that they're gonna get. So there you have that. All right. Um, this will probably be. I'll probably be teasing some of these guys down. I probably ain't gonna. I'm gonna take these guys on the book and just take them down in the same game parlay. I might try to give me a plus 100 same game parlay here. Let's see if I can get to. Let's see if I can get to. Maybe I might take a stab at 50-50 and let's see. I didn't even talk about Hawk. Hawk is definitely in play. What you get there? You get 5 receptions apiece for those guys. 5 for Justin Jefferson and 5 for Devontae Adams, and then from there, you can just about do anything from there, man. To knock that 29 cents off there just to get to plus money. These would probably end up being the highest usage players. I mean, you could even go back to Hawkinson if you want. And let's see. TJ Hawkinson, 25 yards for him, or you can dive in on the reception side for him. 3 receptions for him, get you at a plus 110 right there. 3 catches, 5 and 5, or what? Like I said, 25 yards for Hawkinson will get you there as well. Plus 126. You can dibble dabble in that on the books. So that's how I'll be looking at it. Some shape or form like that. I won't be straight betting everything. Tell you the truth. What is it? 1023. What else do we have here? What game we have here? I will so the Denver Broncos and the Chargers game. I don't know what exactly how I want to attack this one here. Interesting play though is Cortland Sutton. Definitely going to be an interesting play for me. So he's one of the receivers that I'll be targeting there for sure. Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler been you know what I'm saying? I couldn't talk off none of these numbers, but I was looking at Cortland Sutton there, man. I was. So Cortland Sutton is one of the guys that's going to be on my radar here. Shout out to Denver. They've been playing better. Sutton here. And then I'm not a big fan of this this secondary here for these guys here. Sutton has hit this number 58.5 in 3 straight games. Shout out to him. 7 targets, 6 targets, 5 targets of 2 receptions, 3 receptions, 4 receptions. I think I think this is a pathway for him to have a better game than he's been having. He's got what on the seat. He's a big time touchdown candidate. He's got a touchdown in every game this year except for 1, 2, 3. All right, and he's got a touchdown in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of his last 7 games. So he's a target, man. He's a target. Someone that what the fuck is the quarterback's name, man? Russell Wilson. He's somebody that Russell Wilson looks for in the end zone. So there you have that. Cortland Sutton. You could take his 58 yards. You could take his touchdown. I think there's a play. Like I just said, man, he's got a touchdown in every game except for 3 games this year. He's definitely that's chemistry. You know what I'm saying? That's chemistry. So Cortland Sutton, 58 yards and or touchdown. I damn near want to put the touchdown over his 58 yards. Truthfully, to tell you the truth, because he's getting these yardage right now the last 3 games, but he probably hit some chunk. He's hit some chunk plays because 2 receptions on 7 targets for 77 yards. His long was 45 yards. That one. So he's a yardage candidate here. His long for each and that's his 4 games. Long was 45 yards. Long was 31. Young was 33. Long was 30. So he's hooking up. Then a 23, then a 30. So he's hooking up down the field with Cortland Sutton there. He's hooking up because last 2 games, 77 yards, 2 receptions, 61 yards, 3 receptions, 66 yards, 4 receptions, 53 yards, 8 receptions on 11 targets, like 8 catches on 53 yards, I guess, So y'all get the drift. You feel me? Shout out to, who is this? Okay. Cigars. Justin Jefferson is back, baby. I know you like that. Man, I've been seeing everybody putting their money on Kamara all over Twitter bets and YouTube bets. Yeah, I went to Kamara. I guess he is a steal. Yeah, I guess he's a steal. I went to Kamara. The usage should be there for him. You know what I'm saying? Especially the way, Carr should be shook right now, man. He should be shook in and out of the game for concussions and all that shit. He needs to get the ball out. And then you could look at, I forget the tight end too, man. His catches that sit 2.5. I think I want to pull the trigger there. What's his name? It ain't Watson, is it? I forget his name, but yeah, So let me. This the last game here is not the last game, but man, my mouth is dry as hell. That's that heat, man. That dry ass heat. Yeah. Kansas City, Buffalo's at Kansas City Chiefs there, right? This is gonna be interesting here. This is gonna be interesting. 48.5 here, right? No Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mean, no Pacheco. And I'll be looking at Cook is definitely in play. I'll be looking at So where is McKinnon? They don't have McKinnon on here? Interesting. I'll be looking for McKinnon, man. I just think he's gonna pop off for some reason. Jerick McKinnon. Receiving yards sitting at 20. Rush yards sitting at 16 and a half. Rush and receiving yards sitting at 16, 39 and a half. Okay. In this matchup, I mean, they know what Jerick McKinnon can do. They know what he does. So we have him here. Okay, let's take a look here. All right, let's go to his receiving yards. All right. So he's 3 of 10 to this number. 20 and a half. 40% out of his last 5. We can see that. But that's 20 and a half, though. If we look at what was his receiving prop? Oh, they got it 20 and a half here. All right. Wait a minute. Let me see something. Where's their PrizePicks? Okay, 20 and a half. Okay, his rush yards at 16 and a half. Sneaky play here. Sneaky play. You have to get it on PrizePicks right now. I haven't looked on DraftKings or anything of that nature, but I like it. I like it, man. I like it. I like the receiving yards here. Receiving or rushing reception, however you want to look at it. Let's take a look at his head-to-head versus his team. He's got 29, 54, and 13. So I like that there. Couple that with the fact that I just don't, of course, Kelsey, like, do you need me to talk about Kelsey? No, you don't. But it's the other motherfuckers, man. The other receivers, the other 10, 15 receivers he's throwing to. They needed a fucking receiver, man, to solidify some of that offense. They all over the place. They're all over the place, man. All over the place, man. And that's one thing I don't like right now. That's what, Mahomes is good, but they all over the place. So let Jerick McKinnon be a part of that all over the place right with y'all. What is this touchdown prop here? Could be a long shot. I mean, not long shot, but Jerick McKinnon plus 234 touchdown on the books. But yeah, I like it. I like it. Diggs and those guys, I can't talk you off Diggs and those guys. The secondary's been looking better for this Kansas City Chiefs team this year. Diggs prop sitting at 74 and a half. He's a guy that's being targeted early and often. You guys already know that. Let's see. Stephon Diggs. So last game versus Philly, he had 11 targets. But, versus the Jets, 8, versus the Denver, 5, versus Cincinnati, 7. Like, the day prior to those 3 games there, he was back in motion with 12 targets, 16, 11. So it's a possibility, man. His targets could be down here. His targets could be down here. Last 3 games, he's 1 for 3 to this number. Interesting. He's still averaging 80 yards a game, but man, Matt Styles makes fights. All right. So we'll see. We'll see what they do to try to take him out the game. But Rice, man. Rashee Rice. His numbers going in play. What's his numbers like? I didn't even look at Rashee Rice today. 51 and a half. What about his receptions? 4.5. He solidified himself as of right now. Last 2 games, he's hit this number in 2 games straight. 9 targets versus Green Bay, 8 receptions on 9 targets, 8 receptions on 10 targets versus Las Vegas, 4 receptions on 5 targets. So he's been pretty efficient. The last 3 games, he's been pretty efficient with his targets and stuff like that. Every game that he's getting four or more targets, he's been very efficient, and he's been like 90%. Every time he's like 90%. So I like that, and they need to build a rapport with him. So I like that. You know what I'm saying? He's 90% to his reception. His receptions there. So receptions could be in play here at 4.5. I lean towards the over. What do they have him at? If they got him at a solid 4 on here, let's see. They don't have his receptions on here. If you're going on the books, I lean towards the over reception here. I probably don't want to mess with the yardage. Another game that I could come in here and get a same game parlay out of, though. So I'll be looking for that. Receiving yards, I don't see Jerick McKinnon. Oh, there it is, 21.5 on the books. I lean towards the over there as well, all right? I just think they're going to help out. They could probably do some design passes to him. As far as this game here, I couldn't talk you off this game. And the rushing yards for Allen could definitely be in play here. All right, so so last game he had versus Philly, he had 9 attempts for 81 yards. So and a rushing touchdown in play for him. But what is this rushing prop? That's passing. 33.5. He's averaging I don't have his averages right in front of me. 33.5 though. Let me see. And then interception could be in play for him too. Okay. Look at his interception. Oh, it's right here. So he's 90% to this number on a reception here. Interception. He's hit this in 8 straight games. All right. Head to head, he doesn't have any against them right now. He'd be on his best behavior, trying to be on his best behavior versus them. But rushes, yeah, that's what we was looking at. Rushes. Rushing yards. So he's this is head to head. He's 2 or 3 to this number, and it's at 32.5. The one that he missed it on the hook is at 32. So I wouldn't take the under. I'll tell you that. I wouldn't take the under his reception yards. I mean his rushing yards there. All right. I wouldn't take the under. His that's head to head right there. His last 5 games, he's 60% to this number, 3 out of 5. And last 10, he is 40% to this number. Rushing TDs. He's 8 to 10 to this number here. Rushing TDs. And head to head, he's got 1 in his last 3 outings versus this team. So his rushing TD is definitely in play. His rushing prop is definitely in play. So those are 2 things that you could look at there. And like I said, Cook is definitely in play there. I did want to go back live for that last game, but I might save it for Monday Night Football. But I'm gonna stick to the usual suspects. Like I said, you don't need me to talk about Kelsey's. It's just either you do or you don't. But Jerick McKinnon is one guy that I was looking at. I don't bet too many quarterback yardage plays or nothing like that. So, but I'll leave that up to you guys. Can help out with that shit or whatever. Let's get a 6-man going here. We're gonna go with the fantasy score for just like y'all said, fantasy score for that's Patrick there. The fantasy score there. Okay, so what is this boy name? McCaffrey, Christian. They probably took his fantasy score down by now. $22 fantasy score for Christian McCaffrey. What else do we have in here? If somebody got a definite, let's throw it in there for the community. If not, is it ever hot in here, man? Straight up. Shit. Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna go back over the games, and I know just to pluck in whatever I have to. Not NBA. They got NBA out right now, though. Do they have lines out right now? Well, I'm looking. I'm just looking. I'm about to dive into some football. I mean, some NBA. That'll probably what it be. I'll come. Oh, we got points out. We got early lines out, man. Interesting. Philly and Washington. Okay. All right. I don't like what they doing, man. I've seen a lot of Philly and Washington and shit. And then look, it's the first quarter of the season, and Denver and Houston played 4 games already. Like, what the fuck is this, man? I don't know what's up with the scheduling, man. They played 4 games already. But let me get back to NFL. Let's go fantasy score for Kamara. It's gonna be a chalky ass ticket. They probably don't even have his fantasy score up. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Let's see. $18 fantasy score. Let's go. Let's go Jamar Chase. Whoo, his receiving yards over 70.5, 6 receptions. It's either one, man. Like, it's either one. Now they put me in a bind, the 70 or the 6 receptions. Fuck. Damn. I should have had this shit, man. I took his receiving yards already. So should I just go back to the well? I got it at 60 something. So I just go back to the well with his receiving yards and just leave it at that. Because I could very well go with the receptions too, man. I already took his receiving yards. I like I like Mixon too, man. Straight up. Fuck. Maybe just go with Mixon. I'm gonna come back to that one. Or on the flip side, I like Pittman as well. Hmm. Let's get. I already got Jamar. Let's go with Pittman some type of way. Let me see. Let's go with Pittman some type of way. His number's probably up there. 7.5 receptions. He's got 8 receptions. He's got shit. 11 receptions, a 10, 8, 8, 8, 2, 9. Like, yes. Receiving yards, 77. He's averaging 17 fantasy score. His fantasy score. He's averaging 17 fantasy score. His fantasy score is 16 right now. Receiving yards combo. Hey, let's go with that. Let's have some fucking fun. Okay. 10.5 targets too. Damn. Let's have some fun. Let's go with I couldn't talk you off anything, man. First and foremost. But let's go with the 144.5 receiving yards, okay? For him and Chase. Surprised that was up there. I like that. Live a little bit on the wild side. I like that. Okay. Now, Jacksonville and Cleveland. Now I did like Evan Ingram. I'm a pause though. I'm a pause. Damn, I didn't even look at. Let me see. Detroit Lions. How many legs we got? Let's go with what we know. What we know we're going with. Okay, and that'll be the over rushing yards for Fields. Justin. Over 62.5 rushing yards. He's went over this number twice. Pass rushing reception TDs at 1.5. What about his rushing attempts? 10.5. Shit. He did go over this number versus Detroit, I want to say. Let's see. He had 100 yards versus rushing versus Detroit. Okay. That was week 11. Now he had 18 attempts. His attempts are sitting at 10.5. And he had 100 yards rushing. Look at Kamara fantasy score went from 18 to 18.5. They got good money coming in on him. Let's go. Let's just go. I'll take his rushing attempts here. And let me see. What is his rushing attempts on the books? I'm gonna take either one of them. Let's see where's the best number at, and I'll figure it out like that. Because I haven't bet this. They don't have his numbers here on DraftKings on FanDuel. I'm gonna go with his attempts. I'm gonna leave his attempts up there, okay? All right, now we got McCaffrey. Shit. I'm McKinnon. Oh shit! I didn't even talk about that Philly game. Philly's that secondary has been troublesome. Okay, so Lamb numbers and shit like that is in play. The running back, what's his name? Pollard. I don't like Pollard today, so there you have that. Damn, the Tennessee Miami Dolphins game all the way Monday. 2 games Monday at the same damn time. What the fuck is this shit, man? What the fuck? I guess it don't even fucking matter, man. They, I guess. All right. Let me steal some of you guys' plays because I know we can go. One thing we can go here would be a run back here, which would be David Montgomery. Over a half pass rush reception touchdown. Somebody had that in their parlay. Let's see. So Williams, I'm gonna include that. I'm gonna steal that from you, Jim, and then somebody else had a parlay. How about a Justin Jefferson combo? Adams and Justin Jefferson combo. 143 and a half. Receiving yards. 143 and a half receiving yards, man, between the two. I don't know if I want to go there. What about Otani, man? Fucking Otani, man. That was crazy. Last pick. Let me take a quick look here. Last pick. Go back over this shit again. Let me see something. I can't even. That's fucked up because I can't even trust the. I can't even trust the 4.5 receptions for Sutton. I like him, but I can't trust it. I like it, but I can't trust it. Let me see something, man. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Last 10 games, like one fucking reception, like reception yards, like rush yards. Let's go with the pick, man. You don't have to play this pick if you don't want to. It was my pick. Let me see. What time this game come on? All right. This was a pick that I liked, that I was on. Let's go to my pick, man. And let's go to just found this channel, looking to gain more insight. Hey, man, come on, step in, have yourself a seat, go over there and get you a beer, whatever you want to do, bro. Be my guest, man. Have fun here. Make sure you turn the notifications on, like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell. I appreciate it, bro. We'll be going live. Everybody come bring a community play. We put parlays together. Everybody come bring. We talk about the books, fantasy, and the prize picks. All this shit coincides with sleeper, all that, man. Right now I'm just trying to get a 6 pick together, and we can get out of here. I talked about each and all the games, a few plays that I liked. So I might just end up taking either Travis Kelce, pass rush, reception, touchdown. You got a favorite play, Case? You got a favorite play? Give me a favorite play, man. Give me a favorite play. So this last play, I might go to pass rush, reception, TDs. Jerick McKinnon, rush yards reception yards. I like that at 20.5. Look again. Why not? Why not? I guess, right? Like, why not? Kelce touchdown them. Why not? Right? Like, why fucking not? Kelce. Jesus Christ, how fucking far do I have to go to find Kelce, man? Straight up. He should have been like right there. Damn. His longest reception, head to head, longest reception was 25 versus this team. Last 10 versus this team, he's hit this. Let me see. His reception yards last 10. Last 10, he's 410 to this number. 2 of 5. Last 2 games, he had 81 and 91 yards. Touchdowns. Interesting. Head to head, he's got two or three touchdowns to this team here. I'm kind of new. Only thing I was at was ATL at 2.5. Okay. I have kind of been just picking. That's why I'm glad to see your channel. You have a lot of insight things I'm picking up on already. Definitely subscribe. No problem, sir. No problem. So slide on us on. Make sure you have your notifications on because sometimes I'll record and go live. Live is where it's at. You come in here, kick it and shit. Take your shoes off at the door, shit like that. All right. So let's go. Let's just go. Let's take Kelsey for a touchdown, man. Fuck it, man. So look, we got Christian McCaffrey, 22.5 fantasy score. Michael Pittman, and Jamar Chase, 144.5 receiving combo. Let's go. Alvin Kamara, 18.5 fantasy score. Let's go. Justin Fields, over 10.5 rush attempts. David Montgomery up against his old squad, touchdown shit. Touchdown for Travis Kelsey, okay? Let's try that out, all right? I hope they let me put that in. Let's see. Actually, I mean, actually, yeah. I mean, I'll give you some of his attempts. So 10.5. Here's his attempts for the season: 12 attempts versus Minnesota for 59 yards, 18 attempts versus Detroit for 104 yards, 8 attempts for Minnesota, 11, 4, 11, 4, and 9. That's his attempts right there. So right now he's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's hit that number 4 out of 1, 2, 3. I can show you right here. I can show you right here. So you can see the Bears. This is Russia's attempts right here on the season. He is 50% to this number. Yeah. And he's did it in back-to-back games since he's been back. That's an indication that he's probably healthy or whatever the case may be. Does it have to hit? Nah, it don't have to hit, bro. It don't have to hit. But it is what it is. All right. I'll take my chances on that. Other plays you can look at, like I said, you can look at if you're on the books, you can look at an interception for whatever the quarterback name is. What the fuck is his name? Golf. You can look at an interception for Josh Allen as well. Okay. Interception for Josh Allen. Last 10 games, he's 90% to this number. How about 2023, the season? So he's got an interception this season in every game except for 2. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight games. He's got an interception there. Another play that I like would be I don't even know if he's on here, but let's take a look. Mm. Let's go to Juwan Johnson. Reception sitting at 2.5. He's 410 to this number. No Michael Thomas. And I think the other receivers out. And like I said, I mean, it's just I think he can get there because Carr's been in the concussion protocol and shit like that. He's gonna need to get rid of the ball. He's the tight end, Juwan Johnson. He's in play, and I'll tell you this: I wouldn't take the under 2.5. I would take the under. I like both Justin Jefferson and Adams receptions. Yeah, McCaffrey here, we know this. Evans, man. I didn't look at any of Evans' numbers, man. I like Evans for a touchdown, though. Evan Ingram. I like his receptions. Evan Ingram, I like his receptions. Okay. Let's see. No Kirk. And I like the other kid too, man. So I'll show you guys. But this Cleveland defense is what I'm scared of. But I still think Evan Ingram, his receptions. I think I would go with the exception because, like I said, his A dot is kind of low. But he's 7-10 to this number. The receptions here at 4.5. It hit this number 7 out of his last 10 games. And the targets are there. The targets are there. There's another kid here. Where is he? Interesting. They must don't have him here. That's all right. I'll show you. I got strong interest in this kid here. Here he is. Parker Washington. He stepped in, 6 catches on 6 targets last game. I guess in the absence of Kirk. You get his 2.5 catches for plus money, plus 102. And then his yardage probably sitting at 24.5. Now this is not like, I mean, he flashed last week, and he did just that. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen this week, man. Some of his numbers on the season is looking like that was it, man. You know, last game he played week 4. He didn't have a catch or anything. So Washington caught all 6 of his targets for 61 yards and a touchdown during Monday's 34-31 loss to the Bengals. He also returned 2 kickoffs for 51 yards and 1 punt for no yards. Christian Kirk exited with a groin injury on Jacksonville's first drive, and Washington took advantage of the opportunity. The rookie 6th-round pick didn't have a catch and had played just 12 offensive snaps in his 3 prior appearances this season. But he played 59% of the offensive snaps Monday, and if he misses more time, Washington will likely serve as the Jags' number 3 wide receiver behind Calvin Ridley and Zay Jones. So, this guy is like the 4th receiver right now. So, he probably came in, caught 2 passes. Coach said, hey, leave his ass right there. He caught another one. Then he ended up going 6 for 6. He and a touchdown. So, it's a possibility his ass might not even scratch the surface again. But, it's better to know about him. It's a risky play. It's a risky play, man. A risky play. Okay? So let me finish putting this in and let y'all go about y'all business, man. Straight up. Let me finish putting this in. And with all the rain and stuff like that, I still like Puka Nacua. We got big rain implications here. So I still like Puka Nacua. Receptions at 4.5, and I like I like the reception yards. Rushing yards for the quarterback. You know who he is, Jackson, and Kyron and Gus. Both of them touchdown candidates on the ground. So that's what I'm looking at there. Let me finish putting this shit in, man. I like Juwan Johnson over here. His reception. Oh, I showed y'all that. And Jerick McKinnon, 20.5 receiving yards. I think he's gonna hit that. Jerick, and you can look at his rushing and receiving yards, and that's at 36.5. So you can look at that too for Jerick McKinnon. I think he's an outlet to the offense today. And Rashee Rice, he's in play. Even if you want to alter it down on the books, Rashee for Kansas City, the wide receiver. I got an odd $9.80. I'm gonna put that on here. All right. How about a quick touchdown parlay? How about that? How about a quick touchdown parlay? Let's go with let's make this one fun. How about let's go Camara. Okay, I see. It's Sunday fun day and all that shit. I see. I ain't even logged in. I hate when they do that. I ain't even logged in, and they are still on it. Fuck, that's me. See, I ain't even logged in. Montgomery. Christian Caffrey's a minus 350. Like, what the fuck, man? You gotta take him for more than one. Let's go, Travis. These are all straight bets too. Let's go. Somebody had. Let's go, Evans. Let's go. Let's go, Courtland. That's good value. Definitely betting this right here. Courtland Sutton. They're just gonna have to go ahead and fuck me up because that's his favorite touchdown target. Courtland Sutton. He's got a touchdown in every game except for 3. And yeah, one, 2, 3. Courtland Sutton's got a touchdown in every game except for 3. He's 3 for 11 to this number. That's good numbers right there. That ain't my market, man. I don't know where Moti at. Moti be on all them kickers and shit. But wait a minute. Let's see. Let's see. You said that's Atlanta and Tampa Bay. I can't talk you off of that though. I kind of like the concept of that one. I kind of like the concept of that one, man. Straight up. What is it? Field goals made 1.5. Young Ho Cole. He's 6-10 to this number. He's hit this number in back-to-back games versus them 3-3. That gives you a little bit of outlook of how these games have been going lately. That's what I can give you right there. That's what I can give you right there, sir. That's not my market, though. So, touchdown parlay looks like, and you know what, too? Let me see something. Rashad Wright, his reception y'all sitting at 24.5. That could be in play as well. And Chris Olave. Chris Olave is in play here today. Chris Olave, he's in play. All right. So the touchdown here is looking like Kamara, Montgomery, Kelsey, Evans, Cortland Sutton. That's a plus on the books. That's a plus 227, 2791. All right. What's up, Justin Ferguson? Man, I'm finna get off now, man. You just getting up? I'm finna get off, man. That's it. Let me tell you what we got here. We got a touchdown parlay. Kamara. It's at a plus 2791. We got Kamara, Montgomery, Kelsey, Evans, Cortland Sutton. You got anything? Drop it on PrizePicks. If you got take both tight ends for Houston in the Jets game. Right. That's my guy. Conklin. I fuck with the Conklin, man. That's my guy. So I like the Conklin play. So both tight ends from the Houston and Jets game. The other kid, that's what's the name that come from and that's smart too. That's smart, man. I like that. That's they come from Dallas. What's his name? Schwartz or some shit. What's his name? Yeah. So what we got on PrizePicks here is over 10.5 rush attempts for Justin Fields, touchdown for Montgomery, touchdown for Kelsey, 18.5 fantasy score for Kamara, Michael Pittman and Jamar Chase for 150 yards. That was a fun play right there. Hopefully they get it. Christian McCaffrey for 22 fantasy yards. I like his all-purpose yards. Christian McCaffrey, and I like Kamara all-purpose yards too. All right. I'm gonna go and get up out of here, man. I'm gonna be watching the red zone until I fall asleep. I've been up all night at work, man. So I'm tired, man. At the end of the day, y'all have a good day, good productive day, man. And peace out, y'all. Peace. It's all good, bro. It's all good. I'm up out of here, man. All right, peace, y'all.